All right, we're back.
We're here.
Back on the internet.
We're back on the internet.
That's right.
It's another week, and here we are.
Here we are on the internet.
You thought we were gone.
Some stuff has happened.
Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff always happens.
Well, sometimes only some things happen,
Yeah.
but
Well, it depends on what things you mean. Lots of weird stuff has been happening.
yeah,
Yeah. Especially with the whole Biden thing.
Well, the Biden thing, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But let's start with the Crowder thing.
Yeah. Let's start with that.
Well, my things aren't working, but that's all right. Start with the Crowder thing. I don't have an article for it.
Oh.
There's not really an article for it. There's been hours of video that's come out, right?
Yep.
Who came out first? Steven Crowder came out first.
Crowder came out first, so that 27-minute one.
Complaining about a contract that was rumored to be from the Daily Wire, and then the Daily Wire confirmed that by doing their own video outlining the contract.
Turns out that Crowder's butthurt.
Crowder, that's what it seems like.
Mm-hmm. He wanted more money.
For more than double the money.
Yeah. He would have. Yeah, it would have been. He was asking for 120 million, and they were offering
30 million a year. They were offering 50 for 4. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Why don't you just negotiate back and say, look,
Well, he did.
Yeah.
He asked for 30 million. They said they can't do that.
Yeah, but okay, so negotiate back to say do a different kind of deal.
Yeah,
like, people always want the upfront money. Why not take a little bit of the risk as well?
Yeah, especially in Crowder's position.
That's what I mean.
He has his,
like put the incentive. Like, so for example, like what's his face? Tom Hanks, when he did Forrest Gump, he took very little up front because the movie didn't really have a high budget.
Right, he took a deal to
took a back end deal that ended up making him like 100 million or something or more. I think
probably more by now. Yeah. You got Robbie Downey Jr. with Iron Man.
Yeah, there's a number of actors that have done that.
Yeah,
which is, I think it's great. I think it's super smart. For one, I mean it's less safe, obviously, right?
I think Crowder's main position is that he feels like these contracts
are beneath him.
No, they lock in smaller people who aren't in his position, who just can't say no to that.
Right. It's my silent text.
So like you get a young up and coming talent that signs a deal with the Daily Wire, and then then they get locked to this contract and they kind of get screwed over by it. I think is what he's getting at, but I don't know that has merit. Like, I honestly don't.
No, I don't think so. But again, like I said, I would understand being stuck in a contract for 4 years if you feel like your upside is big. Like you could, you know what I mean? So you're gambling by locking into a contract also.
Right.
Because if you lock in, it's like an NHL player or something, right? And they get locked into these shitty contracts, and then they turn out to be amazing, second year or something, and they're stuck in a 4-year contract or something. They're like,
yeah, that's why. Well, that's why I like the NHL. I don't know how it is in other sports. It's probably similar. They have the rookie contracts.
Yeah.
Which is like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then you sign your deal, so you actually have to be in the league for a while. But yeah, you can easily get locked into something.
Or you could get these deals like Ronaldo and Messi are being offered. You see those deals?
Those are just
$300 million for Ronaldo, and Messi's being offered $400 million, I think. From that I don't know, one of the Arab one of those Arabic country teams. I'm not sure what. I'm not a soccer guy, but I just read that article.
I know the numbers are stupid.
But that's those kinds of contracts. That's risk free for the player, obviously, because
that player unless they decide that they're gonna walk away, that
Yeah,
money's theirs. Like if they get injured,
exactly.
that
Yeah,
money's theirs. It might be injury clauses,
there's
but
injury clauses
it's
for sure, but
they get a shit
they
ton
still get a shit ton. Yeah,
regardless, right? They gotta negotiate that.
but this here, this kind of contract for him, I understand. I could understand his apprehension because
Yeah.
I
It's
don't know
eighty
what he was.
percent.
What was he making at Blaze? Do you have any
Oh, I
idea?
don't know. I
Yeah,
don't think that's public information.
probably not.
Yeah.
But
Um,
then then I'm curious to know why he's going for 30 million. And if he was making near that with Blaze, which I doubt, then okay. But if he's not, then why is he all of a sudden think he's worth that much more? You know?
yeah, how much is Bug Club bringing in? Like how many subscribers do they have every month, you know?
Yeah.
What else are they selling? What are their sponsorship deals like? I mean, why doesn't he just do it on his own too? Like I don't understand why
Maybe that was part of it.
he needs
Maybe he's using this as
yeah.
publicity to build his own thing.
Yeah, but it's like Crowder like Tim Pool's doing his own thing.
Hmm.
Crowder's a lot bigger than Tim Pool.
Hmm.
This show's a lot more popular than Tim Pool's. So it's like I don't I don't understand other than having the contract of that guaranteed money, sort of securing a bag for a certain amount of time. I don't understand wanting to partner up with another organization like the Daily Wire. Because then, like, obviously, you don't like some things about their contract. So it's like, okay, you don't need to do that. You just do your show
Hmm.
by yourself. Probably make more money. Like if you think your show's worth $120 million over 4 years, then why not do it by yourself and make $120 million over 4 years
Yeah.
and not have to share it?
Do you
You
wonder if
know,
Rogan ever thinks that you know because he got a good deal at first from Spotify, but he's the biggest thing in media. So now do you think he goes,
I would.
shit, if I were on my own, how much more I'd be making? Or do you think he gives a shit?
I think he likes the security
Yeah.
because there's added security in that they have paid him a stupid amount of money to be on their platform. So there's a de-stressedness behind it, where it's not like
De-stressedness.
de-stressedness, where he's not gonna wake up and his account's gone.
Yeah.
That's not gonna
Or
happen
being
because
demonetized or
that's
something.
them throwing away a $200 million investment, and you're
Yeah.
not gonna do that.
Hmm.
Um, plus, I would bet that Rogan knows what he's doing. Well, one, he does comedy shows where he sells out Madison Square Garden, so it's not like he doesn't have stupid income elsewhere.
Hmm.
But also, I would bet you he like there's probably a revenue share aspect to it. Like
Hmm.
it's not just like it's he's going to get his $200 million, and then there's probably other things that or maybe there's things in there if the podcast makes more than a certain target, he gets an extra bit or whatever. Like,
I'm surprised maybe that
but do you remember how long that contract was supposed to be? Supposedly,
for Rogan's
Rogan,
4, I thought it was
4
4 years.
years. Owner.
Because it was 200 million. I thought it was 50 million a year. That's what I thought, but maybe
Um,
it's longer.
how long is Rogan's contract with Spotify? Just says what it's worth.
Exclusive rights through 2023. Uh,
Fine, I'll disable my ad blocker. Once, just this once.
just this once.
I did it. I did it. Through 2023. That implies that it ends this year.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I think they did it in 2019, right? Just before.
Yeah, so 4 years makes sense. Yeah, so let's just run with 4 years. Maybe they have an extension clause like what the Daily Wire had
Yeah.
in the Crowder situation. Um, but
Nobody's looking at our face anymore.
That's not on the screen.
Oh, it's on.
No.
Okay.
The right side is.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
You'll know what I mean soon.
it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Rogan situation. If Spotify re-ups that contract, he's probably going to get $1 billion offer from somebody.
They, I don't know how they
I mean,
can't
who has $1 billion? But Spotify probably.
now. Probably now.
Well, yeah,
Think about how many ad drops are in there and stuff too.
yeah.
I wonder if he's getting. He must be getting some revenue from those ad drops.
It's got to be. I don't
I don't.
know.
Yeah. I don't
Because
know.
like when you're buying the exclusivity, you're buying the right. Because how are you? You're gonna have to make money off
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe a portion of it, or maybe over a certain amount, it's shared. So it's like, okay, we're gonna pay you $200 million over 4 years to do the podcast exclusively on our platform. If the podcast makes in excess of $300 million, or is on pace to do that, so maybe it's calculated quarterly, you get, I don't know, half of the extra, right?
Yeah.
Half of
Maybe.
it. Um, so who knows what will
Yeah.
happen if they re-up that?
I think so. How couldn't they?
If Rogan goes elsewhere?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if
Mhm.
he will. He speaks very highly of Spotify.
It's too big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's huge. Like they
Yeah.
can't
If
drop
he
him.
left, Spotify,
Like
oh,
they have to just give him everything.
pretty much.
Like just give him everything.
Like wherever he goes, he steals a ton. He steals a ton from Spotify
Yeah.
because there's so many people that are Spotify customers because of him.
Yeah, realistically, I never had Spotify,
Yeah,
and then I got it just
I mean it's cool. The
because of
music's
that.
cool and all that on Spotify, sure, and
It's
I like that.
useful, yeah, but
But a lot of people only watch podcasts, and they can get some of the other podcasts
a lot of
in
them
other
are on there
places.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what. Is there any other podcast exclusive on Spotify?
Exclusive on Spotify? Probably, but I don't know, like, notable.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't really know if they've signed deals like that. Maybe I
Like
don't
Jordan
know.
Peterson's exclusive to Daily Wire, right?
Well, no, there's a portion that's exclusive. He still has his YouTube and everything.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know.
Who is the second biggest podcast?
In the world,
Yeah,
I don't know.
look it up. Look up top 5 podcasts. Interesting. Top 'em? Joe Rogan, HBO's The Last of Us podcast,
Huberman Lab.
Huberman Lab, Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard,
Oh,
Crime
this
Junkie.
is a Spotify
Oh, that's
charts. I wonder if Google's gonna answer.
well. Go to the next one.
No.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh man, we're not showing this on the thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna show this on the thing. Look at what Google says. Right, the number one podcast in the world, top podcast, The Daily by the New York Times.
Yeah, sure.
Morbid,
What the hell is that? And
Uh,
Dateline NBC.
Dateline NBC. Like those probably don't even make the top 20.
What is that? That says. Oh, here we go.
Weird how they included the Ben Shapiro show. Yeah, no, the Ben Shapiro show is bigger than Rogan.
Yeah. Rogan's not even on there.
No. How insane is that?
That's retarded.
As if people aren't gonna know.
Go back. Go to that. Let's say, what is the top 10 podcasts in the world? Go to that. See if
Yeah, there we go. Joe Rogan Experience, Daily, This American Life, Stuff You Should Know, Pod Save America, The Ben Shapiro Show, Call Her Daddy, Office Ladies.
Office Ladies. Isn't that the one? No, that's not. Is that the one that Dave Portnoy?
No,
Those girls left.
no, that's Call Her Daddy.
Oh, Call Her Daddy. Okay.
The one girl left.
Yeah, yeah,
So she got an ego.
yeah.
Now no one knows who she is. But that's a good transition to women who are outright delusional. I don't know if you saw this story at all.
I did not.
This I guess this chick got M cup breasts, and now she's shocked that people look at her a certain way.
Oh no, are they sexualizing her?
Like I don't understand.
Oh.
I don't understand how you could be so.
Why would
delusional.
they sexualize you with those?
Yeah. Why would you like what?
You put those on purpose. Like it's not like you just were, born with that.
Like why? Like, how could you?
But it's fine. I mean, you're doing it for attention, obviously.
Well, obviously,
But then to
but
say
then
you
you're
don't
gonna
want the
complain
attention,
about it. It's like what? Why are women like this?
I don't know, man.
Like,
It's
there's
like
no
when
logic.
women wear like the most skimpiest, fucking tightest see-through shit they possibly can out or at a club or something like that,
Yeah,
and they're getting looked at and oogled and hit on and all that, and they're like, I just want to be with my girlfriends and just dance. Just want to.
I know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Literally.
Why the hell are you wearing that then?
What are you talking about?
Wear some jogging pants then. You'll get a lot less attention.
Yeah, no one's gonna look at you.
Right? It's I don't know, man.
It's such a weird.
I love when people do that in general. When people will do something that it's evident that their intention is for X and they claim it's not. Like I had this argument
Yeah,
with someone I know. We were talking about uh, when she was going to the gym and she's
yeah,
wearing like tight ass yoga pants or something, right?
yeah.
Where you can fucking see every
You see
wrinkle.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know how we got in the conversation, but I said something like we somehow got into it, and I was like, yeah, I go, guys are going to stare at you at the gym. She said something about, guys like the guys at Oogle and stuff, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, duh. I
hmm
go, you know,
yeah,
I'm sneaking looks at your ass from time to time. I go, you think
yeah,
guys at the gym aren't going to do
yeah.
it?
Exactly.
And she's like, well, I go, you wear it for that. She goes, no, I
Literally.
don't.
Yeah, it's like
I
why
go,
even deny that?
right. And I go, okay, all right. I got your checkmate right now. I go, when you go home, what do you do right away? You put comfortable clothes
Yeah,
on.
yeah. You take those off.
You take those off right away.
Yeah,
So what the
yeah.
fuck are we talking
So
about here?
what is this conversation? Like,
This is
what are you
the
doing?
most asinine conversation we can have. Then
Yeah,
it's clear, it's evident that you're doing it for that. No, that's not the only reason why I'm doing it. Okay, yeah, I'm not saying it's the only reason, but it's a majority of the reason.
the big one,
It's the big
probably.
one.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the main reason you do that.
Oh, God, it's like motivations are very simple to figure out.
Yeah,
When somebody's acting a certain way, you can just look at them and say, okay, well,
yeah.
you know,
Why are you doing that?
I can see why you're doing it. I just love when people deny it.
Especially this, like with fake tits too. It's like you're emphasizing a like one of the main sexual aspects of your body.
But and it serves her no purpose.
Yeah,
Like, what purpose does it serve her to have those giant tits other than to get attention?
that's the only reason.
Like, other than that, it's for one, it's going to give you pain.
Yeah.
Carrying that kind of
Oh
weight
yeah.
up there is going to give you lower back pain, all
Oh
kinds
yeah.
of issues. You're going to have a hard time fitting into clothes,
I
which I
think.
don't think is a problem for her. I think she likes not fitting into clothes.
Yeah, that's like her main thing. But it says up here 4.5 kilos. It's like 10 pounds.
Oh my God. Fucking strap 10 pounds to your chest and see what that
Strap
feels like in
10
your back.
pounds right to your chest, and then
And I'm not shitting on her for it. Great. Good. Go. Have fun.
shitting on her for
I'm just shitting on her for being a goof about it.
Yeah, being a goof. That's the right way to put it. Like,
It's like I saw a girl on Instagram as I was going through reels or something, and she did that thing where you cut your tongue.
oh, where it's like two
It's two tongues.
pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's weird.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
very off-putting for me.
yeah,
Like it just looks fucking bizarre, and
yeah,
the fact that she's moving them in separate, like, oh, like wow, that's fucking weird.
yeah.
But what would be the argument for doing that?
It's kind of cool that you can do that though. You
Well,
can
it's
just
kind of
like
cool
cut
that
it
you
and then
can
you can move them
you move them
separately.
separately.
It's
That's
like
kind of cool, but
there's
it's
like
also
two
weird.
appendages. Yeah.
But I mean, what would be the purpose? Is she like, oh, I want to be able to lick both sides of my mouth at the same time?
No, the purpose is to look a certain way.
Well, exactly.
You know,
And that's what I mean. But if she says it's for any other reason,
she's lying.
she's lying. I
Yeah.
mean, you wouldn't go through
They do
that.
that. Like it's so weird that
Yeah.
why are women like that?
Why are people like that?
I don't know.
Why not just admit? Hey, I don't have any problem with admitting why I do things. I mean, even if they have a bit of a selfish or a not very good reason for doing it, I'm like, I'll still admit it. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I wanted that.
Yeah.
I mean, why'd you eat that ice cream? I like the taste of it.
I like this.
I know it's not good for me.
I fucking know it. My fucking I don't remember when this happened, but there've been situations where like I'm wearing a bit of a tighter shirt or something around my family, and they're like, what how does this conversation go? My mom will say something like, "Oh, he's showing off." I'm like, "Yeah, what's the point? What's the point if you don't show off?"
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
You just clap back with a joke.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you exactly why I wear fitted shirts. It actually started with when I started building muscle. I
Mhm.
started wearing them because I wanted to, I wanted to show off what I was building,
Yeah.
right? But now,
I don't like the
honestly, I
super built.
can't. I If I wear a shirt that's too baggy, I don't like it.
I don't like too baggy.
It has to be fitted to some degree. Some of my shirts are a little tight because sometimes I'll buy a shirt and then
Or
I'm
shrinks
stupid
or
with how I
whatever.
wash stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't care. I don't
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
I just wash it and it's
Yeah,
like it'll
yeah.
shrink or whatever. Um, but shirts are throwaway for
But
me anyway
that's like a
because
real
they get ruined from the
it's like
deodorant.
but that's like a real conversation, right? Like if you have a natural physique,
Yeah,
how like you need to complement it in a certain way.
yeah,
Otherwise, you can't really tell that much,
hmm
unless you're not wearing a shirt at all, you can't really see what it's like.
yeah,
And so it's like it's almost like it's pointless
yeah,
because
yeah.
like you can't
You got all
become
this hidden
massive.
underneath.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't become massive
without
the
steroids or
way
something.
that
Yeah.
yeah, because you would need to take steroids. So it's like it's a complementary to a natural physique, and it makes
No,
sense. But it's like
that's what I always admit that. I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
there's a part of me doing that is to show that I have muscle.
hmm
Like it'd be pointless otherwise.
hmm
Um, but it's definitely shifted. It was primarily at first, primarily to showcase.
I've never
Now it's
liked
shifted to
I've never
comfort.
liked baggy like
I neither have I.
I don't want this like this is good right because it's not like tight but it's not loose like some shirts will go down to like there
Yeah,
naturally
I don't like that
I
at
don't
all.
like that like because it's like flopping around when you're
It
moving
feels uncomfortable
you
to me.
feel it move like I like it to stick to my body as I move
Me too.
as I do things
Yeah,
it's better
but it's fine to admit. It's fine. I think it. You should admit, and I think you should want to do that. I think you should
Mhm.
want to showcase someone. Why are you doing it
Yeah
otherwise? You
yeah
know?
well, you could say, "Oh, to be strong or whatever," but I
Well,
always joke the complete opposite. At my last job, I remember at least a couple times there'll be something I'm doing something particularly difficult or struggling with the thing, and someone comes over. He's like, "What do you got all that muscle for? For like, if you
yeah,
can't do that there?"
yeah,
I'm like, man, it's just for show.
yeah, yeah. This
it's,
doesn't lift
it's
anything,
just
man.
for show,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. This is all fake muscle.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I say to women all the time, I'm like, if you look good and you feel good, flaunt it. So, for example, I knew a girl back in the day that was a little thick. She was like, she was thick but tight, you know?
hmm
I found her sexy, to be honest. And she wore very nice, like, sexy type clothing all the time. Other girls would hate on her and shit because this was when I was a courier and I was delivering all the time. And this was a clothing store.
hmm
And some of the other girls would say that this girl, the one I'm talking about, they'd be like, why is she wearing that? She shouldn't be wearing that, blah, blah, blah. And I would defend her all the time. I'm like,
hmm
why not? They'd be like, "Well, she's big, she's thick, whatever." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"But she looks good." And they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "I think she looks
yeah,
good."
yeah.
I mean, she might not be everybody's cup of tea,
hmm
and even a girl who has like what I would think's a perfect body is not everybody's cup of tea.
Yes,
She's just gonna fall into probably more of a bigger
yeah, like
pot,
some people
a
look at
bigger
this
bowl.
chick and think that, oh my gosh, she's perfect.
Yeah,
Like I don't like that.
I
I
don't
don't like
like.
the fake
No,
look.
I don't like fake either. Yeah,
I don't like the fake in anything, like too much makeup or like fake body parts, like anywhere.
same.
You fuck with your lips and face. Like I don't like that at
Yeah,
all. It
like if you're gonna do
shows
stuff like that, make it subtle, make it look normal.
extremely subtle because
Yeah,
it doesn't take a lot to throw everything off.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Especially like you're a girl. It's like okay, you're a girl. You got a pretty face, and then you just throw the ratio off just a little bit. It fucks everything. I'm just like,
Mhm.
ugh,
Yeah.
what happened? you
But
know?
you see these women do it all the time as they get older. It's like they don't want
Yeah,
to age, so they start fucking with their face and end up looking like a plastic
even worse. Yeah,
lion.
yeah, yeah. It's not good.
Like if you're a nice looking woman, you're probably gonna age nicely too, and you're gonna be a nice looking older
Yeah,
woman, and
especially
it's fine.
taking care of yourself
Yeah,
does wonders.
eating well,
Like, yeah, like
all that.
there are women, uh, like I hate saying this, but a couple, like there's always the kids at school that have the hot moms,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's because their moms are younger,
Mhm.
right? They're just younger than everybody else. But a lot of the times that I can think of in my sort of high school age, all the people that I knew, like the hot moms weren't necessarily younger, they just took care of themselves a lot,
Right. Yep.
and it showed
Yep.
versus the other ones who didn't. And,
Yeah. There's definitely something to just overall taking care of yourself and
mm,
starting early. Like if you're,
yeah,
if you're abusing yourself for 40 of your years and then you decide you want to get in shape and all this kind of stuff, well, you
it'll
can't
get you
undo
so
40
far,
years
but
of
yeah,
abuse, right?
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you might, you might get to a point where you feel a lot better, but your outward appearance isn't going to just all of a sudden snap to somebody who's been taking care of themselves their whole life, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, but this one's just a hypocrite.
Yeah. Well,
We're
she
not even
wants
hypocrite. No, it's just phony.
she wants to be able to say that.
She's as phony as her boobs are.
Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
probably. It's
And
probably a fair
sorry,
assessment.
how old or where's she from? Australia or something,
20
right?
now,
And she's
from
29.
Wales. She was vacationing in Australia.
Oh, okay.
So,
And guys were looking at her.
yeah.
Hmm.
No shit.
Poor thing. Poor thing. We should start a GoFundMe for her.
Yeah, we should. This poor thing.
Let's get you into. I don't know. What's the next after M? Does it go up the alphabet?
I don't know. N N cup? Is that how that works? Um, all
I
right.
didn't even know there was an M. To be honest, like as far as as far as I
There
knew,
isn't natural. I think they definitely probably added it for maybe there
as
is
far as I
natural
knew, there was
actually.
G. As much as I knew, and then they did. I've heard of people being like double and triple G, I think, or something at one point. I think they just keep adding new shit because
People want to go up.
yeah, what are you gonna do? It's like,
People want to get
oh,
bigger.
this person now has tits that are
Yeah.
3 times as big as the biggest we know of.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's probably a good point to transition over to
to a big tit
this story to a big tit.
from one big tit to another.
One big tit to another. Uh, Joe Biden is named in 2017 email discussing multi-million-dollar gas deal with China. The man who claimed to have no clue about his son's business dealings was directly by name involved in them.
I mean,
Shocking,
yeah,
right? Like,
this going along with his $50,000 a month rent charge to his son.
yeah, yeah, that's not obvious corruption or all of the classified documents that they're not doing anything about.
What's funny about this cat though is it's like it's not even sophisticated.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like like 5 hicks got together and they went, we're gonna make a bunch of money. We're gonna make a bunch of money. Let's go do
What, you
something
just
else.
gonna pay me $50,000 a month in rent?
I don't know where we're gonna hide that
Government
50
not
grand a
gonna
month.
know.
Just give me 50 grand a month in rent. That seems okay.
They'll never
nobody's gonna
know where
question
that money came from. That's a legitimate price. Does anybody pay $50,000 a month in rent
It's like I think they said the highest rent or something
in
in
that
that area was like
area?
8 grand a
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
Was the absolute highest.
But like even like
It's
how
obviously money
what
laundering.
does a house have to be worth to justify $50,000 a month in rent? Like $300 million?
It would have. You'd think it would have to be some type of mansion up in like Beverly Hills or something like that.
But like
You know, like I could see people paying that a month
I
up there.
hold on.
Like if you had
No,
say a
we do have something to
$20
base.
million mansion or something, and it was on the
Um,
water or some shit, somebody probably paid 50 grand a month for that.
hold on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
His house, because this house was in Beverly Hills. Um,
28,000 square foot.
was that? No, that's not the one. Oh, there we go.
250 million. It said. I think.
But that's
So
the value. That's the like sale price of the house.
oh, okay.
But what did he pay in rent? Because I know that number was. Why did I go to the bottom of the article all of a sudden?
That's weird.
Um.
Will it go up there to the top? Oh, list for 6 million. Okay.
Oh, that's not even the right
No, it's not.
house. Okay, maybe I
I
should
saw
just.
something underneath where it said something about go down. I saw something that said 250 million.
Yeah, that's the one that he was in.
38,000 square feet
That's
is
the
worth
one.
250 million.
Um.
And then under that it
That's the
says he's a
one.
renter. There's
Yeah,
another
he
one
rented
underneath.
this house. He doesn't own. He never owned this house. He was renting it, and then he got kicked out because he stopped paying rent or something. Because his company went bankrupt. But what was the rent? because I don't
Get out of here. I think the one below it might say it right here. Is a renter and someone else pays his credit.
two hundred
200
thousand
grand a
dollars a
month.
month. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
So 200,000 bucks a month. So
so a house
2.4 million dollars a
probably
year.
so a house worth maybe $80 million. You could justify $50,000 a month.
Yeah.
I doubt.
Well, I would say even less than that, depending on where it is and stuff and what you're using it
Well,
for.
yeah, and that one is in Beverly Hills too.
Yeah.
So there's a premium on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. This is
I don't know
in.
that there's really anywhere else that would be more
This
expensive.
one's in fucking um what Scranton or something or no
Scranton, Pennsylvania.
no, is it where is it? It's somewhere like that. I
I
forget.
don't know.
But
Um,
what a joke. Anyway,
the
they're
most corrupt family in American
they're sinking
politics
them.
just gets more
They're
corrupt.
sinking them. I think they're doing this on
Are they,
purpose.
or are they just laying the groundwork for like, okay, here's all of this out in the open, and we're not going to do anything about it, and no one's going to care,
Maybe.
or nobody's going
I
to care
think
enough
they're
to do
trying to
anything
sink
about
him
it.
for the next election.
Maybe,
I think
yeah,
because it looks like he's going to want to try and run again, and they don't want him to run.
yeah. Who do they? Yeah,
Because I
like, gonna
think
be
they know
Kamala
if
Harris. They can't have her run.
well,
They
I
can't
think
have anyone associated with him run.
no, but it doesn't matter if she runs or well. I mean, actually, I guess they would have to back her
They would, yeah.
as the incumbent.
What the Democrats would, yeah. But like, if he gets ousted, can they realistically force her to step down for being associated with him? I don't know,
No,
because
I
then
don't think
she's not
so.
going to be nearly as popular
Oh, she's
as even
horrible.
him,
She's horrible.
because nobody likes her.
Yeah,
So who do they run?
I don't know. And Pelosi's not even Speaker of the House now, so
Yeah, they can't run
they
her.
can't.
She's not even popular. Like, people don't like her.
I don't know.
Policy.
Yeah, right. She's not even a Democrat anymore.
Um,
Um,
even the Democrats don't want to be Democrats.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe Michelle Obama comes out of the woodwork, and I think she could win.
That'd be weird.
I think she could win.
Kind of scary.
Yeah, I think she would have a really
She'd have a
really.
shot.
I think she'd have a really good shot of winning. In fact,
Would
I
have a
would put
shot.
her as the favorite
Yeah,
over anybody
maybe.
just because of the name, right?
Yeah.
She'd have a unified Democratic Party for show, and then she'd have. I think she'd get a lot of the centrist.
A lot of people that have their head in the sand
Yeah,
would poke their, oh, Michelle Obama, I
yeah,
love Michelle Obama,
recognizable
and then
name,
they're gonna go and vote for Michelle
black
Obama.
woman.
Yeah,
That definitely helps her. You know, like
yeah,
she checks some of the boxes off some of the woke boxes, right?
she
And
does.
she's. I mean, if I didn't disagree with the Obama's politics, yeah, I mean, I don't dislike her. Like she's not dislikable.
As a speaker.
Yeah, like I don't think she's dislikable. I mean, there was one speech she did. I forget what it was that I was like, ugh. But other than that, I don't really dislike her. It's more like I just dislike your politics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like Kamala Harris. She's just
She's awful.
awful. Yeah, she's just off-putting,
Yeah.
man. There's just something fake and phony about that chick.
Yeah.
At least with Michelle Obama, if she is phony, she's really good at hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
Like she comes off as genuine. So you can disagree with her politics, but she comes off as genuine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you'll get people going. And same with Obama, right? Like for all his shitty politics, he was a good statesman, and he was really good speaker, and just very presidential. So it was
Yeah.
hard to kind of like dislike him.
I'm in the camp of, though, I want what Trump is to be considered presidential.
Yeah,
Just kind of
yeah.
call as is, talk like a man.
I think what's his face? Florida.
Sanders.
DeSantis is presidential, I think.
Yeah.
Like that's more of the, you know,
I don't like the fakeness behind it. I don't like the, like, I'm acting a certain way because this is what's deemed to be respectable. I like the just, I'm going to say this because I think it's funny.
yeah.
And I'm going to say this because I think it's true.
I'm kind of there. I'm kind of there too, but like I think you
think
got to
it's
use
better-
a certain amount of couth. You know?
Well, I think that the American people need to be a little bit more grown up and mature to handle that kind of president.
It just seems it just
I think just like rationally, it spurs the conversation more and helps move politics forward more if people are like shocked into certain concepts and issues or whatever. Right? It makes them
Yeah.
think about it. Whereas when Obama goes up and he does his speech and it's all cordial and calculated and soft spoken, people don't really notice the crazy parts
Hmm.
where he's like, it's like, and we're gonna bomb more kids or whatever, you know? Like people don't really, or he says stuff like that in ways that are kind of masked.
Hmm.
Whereas if just coming out and saying it as it is, as you see it, the people who disagree with you are, it's just in their face. And so now they can go in, and then if you agree, you defend it. And it causes the conversation to happen more productively. And you do that, you need to do that in an environment of free speech, of course.
Hmm.
You can't have these fucking,
It has the scream of me, like for me it has the scream of like a CEO of a big company showing up in like Crocs. You know,
yeah,
that's what Trump feels like a little to me at times.
yeah, but I
It's
like
like
that.
I don't. I want him to show up in a full suit. I want him to be professional, but I want him to be approachable too. You know, but I
Hmm.
want him to look the part. I want him, it's like, for example, like your financial
Hmm.
guy. I don't want my financial guy or gal to show up in a fucking in a
Hmm.
1990 fucking Camry. Show up in a nice car, you know, show up looking good, all that. Present. Even if you're half broke, I still want you to
Yeah,
present. I still want you to be showing that you're, you know,
yeah.
like aim up a
I
little,
think
you know.
that's just hiding,
Yeah,
right? Because like it's all fake.
yeah,
It's not real. You're
yeah.
projecting something that's not true.
But
So then
Trump,
you're hiding behind. So then
but
when you pick that person uh because of the arbitrariness of the appearance, like the presentation,
yeah,
you're latching on to what you are kind of having faith in as something that's better rather than looking at the substance, right? You're looking at the
yeah.
surface and
No,
you're trying to gauge
I
based
agree
on
with
that.
that, and I agree with that.
So that's where my
I look
whole
at the
thing is
substance
like
first.
I'd rather yeah, like I
I
don't
like
really care.
both, though.
Yeah, like you can have the you can have the tech CEO show up wearing Crocs and be a total buffoon and a goof. Like it's not like
Yeah,
that.
I just want
It's not
both.
like that's it's not like that is an automatic like, oh, he's a good CEO or whatever. But I like the guy who wears Crocs because he wants to wear Crocs because they're
Yeah,
comfortable.
there's a time and place. You know, it's like there's a
Yeah.
time and place. I think there's a time and place to speak. You know, very off the cuff. I don't think it's when you're addressing, you know, the American public and stuff. I think you just need a little bit more professionalism. I think that's if he had that, I think he would have, you know, despite all the things against him, he might have won a second term. But I think it's that, you know,
When
well, he might be president still. But DeSantis, I think DeSantis has got a good shot. I don't think Trump is going to
DeSantis
win.
definitely has a good
I don't think
shot.
Trump's going to win
Trump's
the
already
nom.
fucking blundered the whole thing.
I
Like,
don't think
what's
he's
he
going to win
even
the nom.
fucking doing?
Yeah.
There's talks that he might be coming back to Twitter.
Mm.
You know, because people say,
He had another like address, another public
"Did
address.
you?"
Yeah, I watched it the other day. I think it was about a week ago or something, talking about Biden and corruption and all that stuff. And um, yeah, it
That'll do
was.
well
Yeah, yeah.
come
He
campaign
jumped
time.
all
Those
over that.
talking
Yeah,
points, yeah.
yeah. He's yeah. Just I don't know. This just feels orchestrated to me. This was a lot of this stuff seemed to be it was being hidden better before, and suddenly it's not.
It was being
Like,
hidden poorly, but deliberately.
but
Like with that
yeah,
laptop story,
yeah.
you know, it's like we know
But
it's
now it's
there.
like now you got even like CNN and left leaning,
Yeah.
um, you know, some of the mainstream media now talking about
It's all these
stuff, and they normally
classified
wouldn't.
documents and stuff too that they're like freaking out about, but they're not
Yeah,
doing anything about.
I saw a
It's like the end of the world when Trump had that thing
yeah
allegedly, but
I saw an article from I forget who it was, but it was somebody that you wouldn't expect this from, and it said, "Why are they not reacting the same to the classified
yeah,
documents?" And it was like you know an outlet you wouldn't expect to write that story.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's because they're not principled. Is the answer.
Yeah.
They're opportunists. Whatever they see.
I think it's stupid on both ends to make a big deal about it. I think all presidents probably have done that and do it.
Well, I think technically too they're allowed to because they technically have the right. Like it, the authority is on the president about whether or not um, he can like release the classified document or whatever.
Mhm.
So he can have it. He can do what he wants with it. even into post presidency.
Right.
I think legally that's how it works. So they kind of blew something up out of nothing, I think, with the Trump thing to
Yeah.
try to play on people's emotions. Like, oh my God, classified documents?
Mm.
He's threatening national security. But really, like, he had every right to do what he was doing.
And apparently they were locked up.
Yeah, they were taken care of. They were
Yeah.
proper. Like, it's not like, but
It's not like they were in a garage.
yeah, they made shit out of nothing.
Like I guess there's a locked garage. It's like it was a locked garage.
with no guest logs
Yeah.
going to the property.
That's just funny. No, the garage was locked. Oh, okay.
I see. All right, that's
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. It keeps coming out. Stuff keeps coming out. I don't know if anything will happen. It's like
hopefully.
I don't hold my breath for any of this shit anymore. That anything will happen.
Yeah,
Like it's a joke. I feel like
it literally is a joke.
I feel like they impeached fucking Nixon for less.
We entered the fucking wacky timeline
Yeah.
where it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Let's move over to this.
Oh,
See if we can get this playing. Listen to what this guy has to say.
Can get on a plane any day you want. And Ivan Program.
It's a little quiet.
Yeah, I'm gonna increase the audio here. So this is a Russian hockey player who refused to wear a pro LGBTQ uniform. This is a TV host.
Can get on a plane any day he wants and go back to a place where he feels more comfortable, take less money, and get on with his life that way. If it's that problematic for him. And he's been in North America for a long time. He played in the Western Hockey League. He's now been in Philadelphia for many years. If this is that much of a problem for him to maybe assimilate into his group of teammates and in the community and here in this country, that's okay. Listen, you can feel any way you want. But the beauty is, if it bothers you that much, there's always a chance to leave, go back where you feel more comfortable. I understand there's a conflict of sorts going on over there. Maybe get involved. So,
A dick bag.
This is the tolerant left at action again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you
think differently than us.
you think differently than us? Well, get out.
Yeah.
Go away. We're not going to tolerate different ideas.
Yeah.
You're either going to do the thing that we told you to do, or you should just leave.
Yeah.
And go fight in a war.
Yeah. Yeah. Like how he says that. Oh,
yeah.
There's a war going on there. Maybe you could just go fight in it.
Like, it's great. Like, you think if these people were really tolerant, they wouldn't give a fuck. They'd be like, oh, well, we had this night. Oh, you don't want to participate? Okay.
It's your choice.
Like, and you can personally judge him for that. Right? Like, this TV should be like, I don't respect it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But
what he's saying is like, it's so, I don't know, what's the word? Like, just totalitarian?
Authoritarian. It's all of it. It's
totalitarian minded, where it's just like, you do the thing that you're supposed to do, or get the fuck out.
Well, we're definitely going that way, right?
Yeah.
Everything's going that way. Mm-hmm. It's like the vaccine was a test. Let's see who'll take it, who'll do it, right? So it's like,
and now the CDC is coming out showing links to like heart diseases and
I personally
admitting things.
I know someone. I don't know the person that it happened to, but I personally know someone who knows someone who died of a heart attack in around my age group. So I don't know. I don't know if it's vaccine related or what. I don't know.
There's a huge uptick.
There's definitely an uptick, and it's something to look into. If there's not enough evidence to show that it's one thing or the other, but it's definitely worth taking a look.
Yeah, it certainly correlates.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you've got something, there's an uptick of something after something. It's like if there's a murder, the first place they look is the next of kin, right? They look at the husband or the wife, or you take a look there. You're not just going to go, oh no, we're not going to look there.
You're just gonna we're gonna talk to those people.
We're just going to go everywhere else, but no, take a look there because
maybe there's motive. They
most of the time it's there.
Something,
they find out motive, and they're like, somebody has motive, and they're like, no, we'll just ignore that. We're just going to look somewhere else.
Yeah,
like it's
Well, they do if it's a Biden
Yeah, that's true. Or Pelosi or
or a Pelosi or an Obama
or Obama.
or a Clinton.
Those Clintons. They've gotten away with everything for years, man. There's nothing happening to them. We're
And
gonna
it's
find out.
crazy. Some of these people are genuinely above like the law.
Well, we're gonna find out in years. I bet that they were up to some shit, and it's all gonna come out. But it'll be after they're dead.
Yeah,
They'll be dead, and they'll be like, "Oh,
I
well,
wonder. Like you look back at history, and you hear like all the stuff that some of the sort of more cruel kings and emperors and leaders were doing, and you wonder like, was that like known? Was that like generally known by the people at the time? Like, did they know that these things were happening,
probably."
or were there rumors and like people denied it? Like, I wonder how close to now that sort of stuff is. You know, where like maybe stuff going on and people know about it, word gets around, but then other people are like, no, there's no way, and like the state media is denies everything. Like, I wonder if that happened,
See, I think now
you know,
it's
thousands of
information
years ago.
overload. I think
Well,
it's
yeah,
because
and
now
it's
there's
so hard to hide things.
right. It's so much information that
Mhm.
it's easier now to just go, "Oh, that's just misinformation or disinformation," and just throw out a bunch of your own bullshit too, and then just flood the area with bullshit and go, "What's real? What's fake?" What's like back in the day, it was like if there was a story broke and enough sort of reputable um, journalists and such got on it, it could spread pretty fast, and it was like a
Yeah,
one source type deal. You know what I mean? As
yeah.
opposed to 17,000
And there was
sources.
never like even if the story was wrong, like the people who were there who can say, no, hold on, this was wrong. Their reach was very limited.
Hmm.
Like they could tell the people in their immediate vicinity, but that's about it. They go to the newspaper and report, hey, the story that you reported is wrong. Newspapers are like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what do you mean? It's wrong. I know it's wrong. No, you're lying. Whatever.
Hmm.
Like they couldn't go on the internet and say these things, and they didn't have the option to like record things as they're happening, so you have evidence.
Hmm. Well,
So
now, but you can just say you can just diminish somebody by saying a certain thing. Like so, for example, I watch The Hill stuff sometimes because they're even though they're left leaning, they're kind of more centrist.
right,
So I'll catch their stuff too because I like to get a little bit of a left. I don't want to be in a right bubble. So I was watching them the other day and they were talking. I forget what they were talking about. They're talking about Rogan and stuff, and then they mentioned Alex Jones. And if before he even mentioned him, he prefaces it by saying, uh, "Sandy Hook denier, Alex Jones." Like you got to say that. Like
even though he isn't,
what I just don't get is like, why is it now? Like every time they mention him, they have to say that.
because he isn't that, and they need to remind people of a thing that he did.
It's like you can just do that all you want. You can do with anybody. You can put any kind of label on somebody before you say their name.
Yeah,
It's like you're trying to diminish what they say by saying like I guess that's what they're trying to do.
yeah.
It's like
They're
Trump
trying to
now. What are you gonna
discredit
say
them.
about Trump now? Every time you're gonna be like January 6th insurrection instigator Donald Trump.
Hmm.
You know, like, okay. How about billionaire Donald Trump? How about former president Donald Trump? How about like there's all kinds of other labels you could put on. You got to put that one on. How about just don't drop a label at all? How about just say Donald Trump and let people know shit that he was involved in or not involved in or
People know who he is.
yeah. You don't need to put a little
Yeah.
fucking spin on it. It's that
The
lead
spin
you
is
to
to emotionally
yeah.
manipulate sort of people.
It's so
You know?
fucking simplistic and it's so
Yeah.
irritating when I hear it. I'm like, you're talking to me like I'm a simpleton. You need to tell me that. So I remember, oh, bad person. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, good. Bad person. You said it. Oh, I forgot that was a bad person until you said that.
Yeah.
Now I know.
No, I know.
So go ahead and tell me what the bad person said because I'm not going to listen to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was a bad person that said that. We live in I don't know if like it's always been this way or we're just like now we get to see how dumb people are.
Yeah,
Gullible, I should say. Not even dumb.
Maybe, yeah, it's just obvious now.
Just gullible.
Or
Like,
before, like, you didn't have you just kinda had to take the media at its face because you didn't have all of the alternatives. You didn't have all the other perspectives to consider into your worldview.
yeah.
And now that you have it, you can kinda see how ridiculous the mainstream view is. People that eat that up, you can tell, like, "Oh, how do you think that?"
Yeah, it's just weird to me to just eat everything up. Like, even when I hear things from trusted sources, I don't just eat it up. I go, okay, I heard that. Maybe that's true. Maybe
Mhm.
it's not. Generally, I listen to information that comes from people that think that way as well. They'll say this isn't necessarily how it is exactly, but this is what it looks like, or this is, you know what I mean? Um, so I don't formulate hard opinions based on one person's word of something.
Mhm.
I just go, okay, well, take that into account, and I'll take that under advisement, and
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. I don't know, but anyways, we got off track a little. We got one last thing we want to talk about.
Do we?
Yeah, the tweets, or the
Oh, this thing?
or the yeah the or the not tweets, but the
Starship?
Starship. I mean,
That looks cool.
that looks cool. Looks like a big penis.
It does. Biggest.
That's pretty cool to see, and that's a real
They're
shot. That's an actual shot of
yeah,
it.
yeah, that's the real thing.
Yeah, not CGI bullshit.
Stacked and apparently they're gonna try to do an orbital launch attempt soon.
Or we're gonna bounce off of the firmament.
Or they're gonna hit the firmament. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
This rocket
that could go right through the firmament.
changes everything.
If that gets launched, that's gonna go through the firmament, and it's gonna all the water that's above the firmament is gonna flood us.
Mhm.
It's gonna be another flood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Possibly.
biblical.
That rocket changes everything because that rocket that can be refueled in orbit
Hmm.
and go, land on Mars, on the moon. I mean, obviously the moon first, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
capable of going to Mars.
Imagine the first people that go to Mars.
Yeah, they're probably gonna die. They probably don't have to die
Still die.
there.
I'm gonna still die. I think the first mission there is gonna be a there and back.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
spend
there,
some time.
basically there for a week max.
No, they spend longer than that. They spend longer than that on the moon.
But it's a 6-month travel
Yeah,
each way
yeah. I think
from Mars. So
they'll probably plan to be a multi-year trip altogether.
I don't know, because they don't want to keep people on the space station stuff past, I think, what is it, 10 months or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's why. But that's why
So
they're
like
working
muscle
on.
atrophy and
That's
stuff.
why they're working on ways to prevent that. Like if you do regular exercises, they found kind of slows that process down a little bit. So the plus you do have some gravity there. Like you got a good amount of gravity on the surface of Mars, I guess.
Mars is, I think it's half of Earth or something like that.
Something maybe a little less than that. I think the moon's a third, so Mars probably is around half or a little bit more. But yeah, there's a lot of research right now going into preventing that atrophy. Probably because they're thinking long term stuff, especially since for the 6 months trip out there, you're spending at least a year in zero G,
That's what I mean. That's
which
what
is
I'm
already
saying.
more than
That's
you
why I
need.
wouldn't think that they would stay very long.
Yeah, but I think they would have to just to get, like there's so much stuff that they want to do,
Yeah.
and so it's like once you're there, it's like
But it'd be almost like proof of concept, the first one, right? Because
it might
it
be,
wouldn't be very
it
good if
might
people
do,
died the
it
first trip.
might be a proof of concept.
Yeah. Like, if
It
people died the first time, it'd be like, that might shut that shit down.
Yeah, but they'll probably send something. Like they'll land one of these there a couple of times. They'll probably land a couple of them to drop stuff off
So then
without people.
Yeah, and then when people get there, there's stuff for them.
So there's stuff there. But yeah, there's a lot to do on the surface. There's a lot to try to figure out. But this rocket changes everything.
Elon's been quietly terraforming Mars as we speak.
Quietly.
Yeah, it's almost completely terraformed.
So
Second Earth now.
it's like a 10 million year process. He's just been doing it in his
It's been
spare
doing
time.
it. It's been doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's already.
Full 50-kilogram payload, apparently, and obviously cheaper. Will be interesting to see it how this transpires. Well, Cheaper than what? There's nothing that exists that has the payload capacity of this.
Well, he means cheaper to launch the rocket.
Yeah, but there's no comparison to it.
No, I know, but yeah,
There's nothing even close. Like, this is more powerful than the Saturn V was
hmm
by a good amount, I think,
hmm
which is like the biggest rocket to date.
yeah. But now it's like it's so much. It's just it's economical now to send stuff up
Oh
into
yeah,
space.
like um, the Falcon 9s are like in the tens of millions,
Yeah,
which is like crazy affordable
Yeah.
compared to like what it used to be, or compared to what like an Atlas V from NASA would cost.
yeah.
It's like a small percentage of that. And-
Imagine when they get it less than that. Holy shit!
Well, it kind of is when you're talking about ride sharing, right? Because if you have a small satellite, you don't have to pay the full thing; you pay a portion. And there's another company called Rocket Lab that's doing that. They have a smaller rocket. Their launches are even cheaper, but they don't. They obviously it's a small rocket. They don't have the payload. Like you can probably put the entire I think it's, yeah, the Electron rocket that Rocket Lab has. You could probably put that inside the Falcon 9 payload. But it's let's see,
Art's saying the next one's gonna be 20,000 kilograms.
is
They're
that
working on 20,000 kilograms, and that's the next one they're working on. Apparently,
yes?
that's crazy.
Rocket Lab
20,000 kilograms.
Electron next to Falcon.
What is that in tons? A ton is a kilogram, right?
I think so, or roughly.
Or 1,000 kilograms. I mean, like 1,000 kilograms. I think it's a
Yeah,
ton.
2,000 pounds.
Yeah, so just under 1,000 kilograms. So you're talking about, um, 21 tons. That's a lot of shit.
Yeah, so you can totally put the Electron in the Falcon 9
Yeah.
payload, but obviously the whole point of the Electron is small satellites. I wonder how much that costs. How much is an Electron? 7.5 million.
Hmm.
And what's the payload capacity?
Wikipedia, man. Donate to it.
Mass. First stage, second stage, kick stage.
Payload. 150 to 225 kilograms.
Where does it say that?
Right there.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which is a lot.
So 500 pounds.
It's a couple people.
Yeah. But it's funny though. You think you launch a rocket that can carry just a couple people.
Yeah. It's also small though. It's
Yeah.
18 meters tall. Is he talking
The
about?
fact it's gonna be 3D printed.
Are you talking? He's talking about the Rocket Lab ones. The Electron the engines are 3D printed.
That's fucked.
Rocket Lab's a publicly traded company.
Should buy.
It's
Some money in there.
a good fucking stock. The only competitor to SpaceX, and they're actually a viable competitor because they have the small. You build we could build a satellite that's the size of this. You don't fucking need to put that on a Falcon 9 unless there's no other options.
Mm-hmm.
So the cost goes way down to put something like this in orbit, especially since they're doing rideshare. You could put 1,000 of these in orbit. Maybe not that, but 100 of them in orbit
Right.
for $7.5 million. What the fuck is he talking about?
You missed the first part. Relativity space. What are you talking about, Art?
Yeah, relativity
Explain.
space.
Stop drinking and explain.
Yeah, drink down.
Put down.
I know the Rocket Lab has a bigger rocket too that they're trying to build that's going to be similar to Starship.
Right.
That is bigger. It's cool that this is happening.
We're in a cool time now. We're in a. It's too bad that I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Like I'd want to be born.
Really
now.
only middle aged though.
Yeah, no, but I'm not going up in space.
You might. 10 years,
What
it
in
might
my
be.
50s or 60s?
Yeah, why not? Especially people said that in like the 1940s about planes. That was first part. What the fuck? Doesn't help.
You're speaking cryptically, man.
1250. This is okay. We're reading back all of your comments, unless there's ones that aren't showing. 1250 kilogram payload, apparently, and obviously cheaper. Will be interesting to see how this transpires. The next one they are working on is 20,000 kilograms. Still pretty cool. It will be 3D printed. Insane. You missed first part. Relativity space. That was first part.
Makes less sense when we're reading it back to you, right, Art?
Unless there's something that's not showing up for us, and he's just like, "What the fuck?" It isn't showing. I wonder if I can see it.
Showing.
I wonder if I can see it in here. No, it doesn't show on the app either.
Hmm.
So,
Well, that makes more sense. Ugh. Yeah, that's if something doesn't happen to Elon.
did you watch the latest Joe Rogan episode? Not the latest now, but he had these guys on who what are they're in the same kind of vein as like Graham Hancock, where they're sort of doing research in ancient civilizations and stuff like that. And they kind of briefly mentioned a little conspiracy theory that Elon Musk back in November or something like that tweeted a tweet of an image, and it was like my bedside table, and had some stuff like it was like an old pistol or something, and like some um like historical stuff. But there was this thing in the picture that was out of place, and I forget what it's called, but it's like uh, a representation of like an ancient object that I guess like in the Hindu culture is known as like the most powerful object ever, and it's theorized that if it existed, it may have been like some kind of energy source or like a source of infinite power or something like that, or some kind of advanced technology, and it was just in there, and it was out of place compared to all the other stuff, and they were speculating that maybe Elon knows something, and that being there in that picture is a signal to people, to powerful people, that he knows something, almost as leverage.
Hmm.
It's like,
Don't do
you know,
anything. Don't do anything to me.
don't do anything stupid,
Yeah.
because maybe he says something if something's primed to go out if anything happens to him, or like to scare them, like I know more than you think.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I don't know.
it's
Well,
interesting.
they're bringing down Andrew Tate, whether he's actually guilty or not. They're bringing him
Yeah,
down. So
that's a tough one. Who the hell knows?
we'll have to talk about that at some point too. Maybe next
Yeah,
podcast we'll talk about the.
when more information comes, because right now it's like weird.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like there was like people saying it was made up, like
Yeah.
alleged, like allegers, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's also weird too with the allegations. Like that one girl just fled. I guess she left and went to Moldova or something. I don't know. Like there's some weird stuff going on there.
Yep.
I don't know what to think. It's like they took him in custody and then they're building a case against him.
Yeah,
Don't you usually have a case already? Then
You're
you take them into
supposed to,
custody. Like it's like you're kind of working backwards here.
yeah.
The other thing I kind of want to talk about, we should have, well, we didn't have time this time, but Atlantis. Did you see it? That they figure it's in the Sahara Desert now?
Yeah, that's what they were talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
on that podcast with those
Yeah.
guys that recommended the
Really
circles.
cool, actually.
They think that's a candidate for sure, because that fits the
Big
description.
time now. There's so
Although
much
I
evidence
think
pointing to that.
I think Randall Carlson had another location that also kind of fits the description with the circularness.
Yeah.
That's underwater.
all the
somewhere.
evidence,
But-
the evidence that this one dude that I was watching, that he was on Rogan too. He's been on Rogan a couple times. That he was presenting, it's hard to refute. Some fucking crazy evidence. All the
Well-
timelines line up.
The one thing that is like certain 100%, you like there's just no arguing it anymore. Because that history isn't what they say.
Hmm.
And it's not necessarily that they're lying. It's that they don't know.
Yeah,
Like they don't have enough information, but that they're like holding on to
it's weird, eh? Like
declarative statements.
it's like it's like when a discovery's made, and then another discovery is made that
Mhm.
sort of will trump that discovery, or you can utilize some of that first discovery into the new discovery. But it's like people fight it. It's like, why do you think you're so right about history? As we get more and
Yeah,
more information to
that
point in
shows
a
you
different
wrong.
direction, yeah, it's fine to just say, look, at the time, this was the best
There's just
hypothesis.
some things they will acknowledge.
Yeah,
Like when they find human remains that extends the timeline, they're like, okay, human beings are now about 1,000,000 years old instead
yeah,
of 300,000 that we
right.
previously are, right? But other things where it's like, oh, it looks like the Sphinx is older than we think it is. They just like blatantly refute that.
Yeah,
It's like, why? Why are you seeing like?
yeah.
I don't know what's
Or
going on.
I guess the head had been changed at one point
It
or
has been
something.
changed a couple
Yeah,
times.
yeah. Some weird shit. Anyway, it's probably a good idea to
Yeah,
end it now. We're a
a
little
little
over an
over an
hour.
hour. I'll go ahead and end it.
Thanks for jumping in, Art. You were a little late, fucker, but we started at
He
7.
had to get drunk first.
Yeah. So subscribe to us if you are watching or watch after our live broadcast, and like our stuff and let us know that you're watching it, or else we'll just have to stop doing it.
Hmm.
We're gonna threaten you. We're gonna
We're
hold
gonna
you
threaten you.
hostage. We're gonna hold you hostage and say we're gonna stop.
That's right.
We're not fucking stopping. We're never stopping. We just like
You just
talking.
gave away all your leverage.
Yeah. Oh shit. I mean, we're stopping.